Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, Lee. How you doing?
I'm all right. Happy Halloween. I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Yeah, I figured with the game Thursday night, we're gonna start here a little early. We'll try to do one here, and then we'll and make a live post game show on
All
Thursday
right, that
night.
works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So,
that's exciting.
what's up?
I said That's exciting. I'm ready.
You ready for it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
so I guess we can get right into the game against the Jaguars. You said you had some stats. I guess you can go through those first if you want to, just to keep everyone
yeah,
informed.
yeah. So final score: Week 8, Jags 20, Steelers 10. Total yards: Jaguars 377 total yards to the Steelers 261. First downs, which kind of shocked me when I saw this. Um, 20 first downs for the Jags and 17 for the Steelers. I didn't even think we had that many, to be honest. How that game went, I just didn't. Total rushing yards, 100 yards, 106 yards, sorry, for the Jags and 70 for the Steelers. Total passing yards, Jaguars 271 to our 191. Third down efficiency, 6 for 13 for the Jaguars and 3 for 12 for Pittsburgh. That third down efficiency just has not been good for us this year. Turnovers, 3 turnovers for the Jags and 2 for us. And time of possession, Jaguars 34 minutes and 16 seconds to our 25 minutes and 44 seconds. So those are the stats from that game. I don't even know what to say. That game about wrecked me, to be honest.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. The officiating was probably the worst
Uh-huh.
in that game. I just want to say really quick, I know that the players get fined when they do stuff, but when are the referees going to get fined for bad calls and stuff,
Mhm.
I mean, I lost it during that roughing the passer that they had on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I lost it. I
Uh-huh.
lost it. I mean, literally, if you saw the replay, as the ball is released from his hand, he's getting tackled. And it's not like the guy was helmet to helmet. It was a regular wrap up tackle. If you want to call roughing the passer, how about roughing the passer on Kenny Pickett? There was a couple that they did on him, especially the one he got injured on. I mean, he was hit after the throw. So I'm getting confused on these calls.
Yeah,
Then there
that's
was
the
Go ahead, I'm
sorry,
sorry.
yeah, that's the biggest thing is the Kenny one where I mean the way the game's played now, sometimes you're gonna get that Lawrence roughing the passer, but if we're gonna get that call, then you just have to have the Kenny call too.
Exactly.
You can't look at both those calls and think that the one is rougher than
Yeah.
the other
Yeah,
by any stretch.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then there was the same guy, I think it was 42 on defense. They called him for pass interference. Originally, it didn't look like they were going to show the replay. And then they showed the replay, and the guy's diving with the receiver. Normally, you'll see a cornerback, and they'll have their hand wrapped around like the lower back of the receiver as they're diving with them. But his hands were just out. You didn't even see him on the guy. That one.
Yeah, I watch a lot of
That one.
football over the weekend. Is that the one where the flag came in real late too, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It was real late.
Yeah.
Yep. It was real late.
Yeah, that was
And
that was
then
very confusing. 42,
that
I'm pretty
one was
sure it's James Pierre.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the last one that really did it was right before halftime. The field goal, offsides on the guard.
The photo, and to get the players to come out and like share that photo just shows you how like
Yeah.
offensive it is that
Yeah,
was called.
exactly. I saw Mike Tomlin doing a post. He said, "I've been coaching for 17 years. I've never seen that called."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole final drive was just comedy of errors. Leads to Kenny getting injured. You can argue maybe he doesn't get injured if they get that first down call right, because you're going to call a different play whenever. If you mark that right, then they don't take the 10 seconds off the clock there.
No,
you don't lose the timeout on the Kenny injury. It just was chaos from there on out. And then the flag for the offsides. And I also saw, I think it was Mike Pereira he explained that like they're not even supposed to be calling those on field goals, even if he was
Wow.
offsides. That's something
Yeah.
that like you call on regular play for like the tush push that's been popularized by the
Yeah.
Eagles and stuff. But that's not something you're supposed to be calling on field goals, even if it is the case. And on that play, it obviously was not the case.
No, I mean Boswell got screwed. Um, and I even saw the photo. If you look at the photo, one of the Jags players
Yeah,
actually offsides.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's crazy. So and then like I said, after that, it just went downhill the second half of that game.
Yeah.
There was no
Mhm.
recovering.
Yeah, it was a definite step back for everyone. I think that game. There's no one that like you can look at and say for sure they like had a good like Johnson has had a good game numbers wise, but after last week me talking about his drops, he
Yeah.
comes out two drops on the first drive. The first one, I
Oh.
mean, he catches that, he's probably gonna get a touchdown.
For sure.
Like you can argue it's a little overthrown, but I don't think. I mean, you got two hands on the ball, and he jumped for it, but he's still almost in stride to the point where if he catches that, I think he's gone. I think he's got the touchdown. The other one was a little tougher, more in traffic. Bounced off his chest though, so those were too tough. But after that, from that point on, he was the one bright spot offensively. Warren still plays, makes the plays. He shows some fire, and then Pickens had a nice touchdown, but they got to get him the ball more, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and you can't even I can't even put any bad emphasis on the defense, to be honest. Right now, from what I've been seeing, maybe the defense has given up a lot of yards. They had 3 turnovers in that game. They sacked Trevor Lawrence 3 or 4 times. I mean, they're on the field forever. I mean, if the offense can't make 3, they're going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and the defense is. I guarantee they're getting tired just out there. They're keeping us in games, but
the offense's first down was in 9. I think around 9 minutes in the second quarter. You just can't have that happen. I think it was 4 straight 3 and outs to start the game.
Yeah.
I guess the other big takeaway from the game is those 2 big injuries. Minka, who has already been ruled out for Thursday, hamstring. Was a non-contact injury, which always scares you a little bit, but I think the Steelers are saying that there's concern that he's going to be missing multiple weeks for that injury. More good news though is Kenny seems to be all right for Thursday. He said that he came out today and said that he's pretty sure he'll be playing. He may not even said pretty sure. He just may have said that he's sure he's playing on Thursday. I think that's a good thing. Some people might argue that they don't want to see Kenny out there, but I mean, after you watch Mitch throw those interceptions, I think there's a clear gap between Kenny and Mitch, even if you think Kenny's bottom tier quarterback.
Him coming in, he goes and throws a touchdown. You're thinking, okay, maybe he might get something rolling, and then he's just back to Mitch Trubisky.
It's just weird too. He just doesn't. He's just not. He's not good.
No,
and I think it's not the traits, the physical traits. I think he has all the physical traits. It's just he doesn't have the intangibles that you need to be a starter in the league.
No, and I'll even say this: if Kenny wouldn't. If he's not able to make it Thursday, I'd say even just try to start Mason Rudolph, to be honest. Just to kind of see.
It's tough. I guess I don't think they'll do it. I think they're pretty locked in on Mitch, but you got to have him on a short leash if there's some reason. And then if it's a long-term injury for Kenny, I think you do go Mason. You give him one more shot to see what he got and go on from there. Because Mitch isn't going to be your guy. He's going to be a career backup from here on out, I think.
Yeah.
He's had his shots. I mean, the Jaguars, they didn't look unstoppable. But Lawrence is just consistent. He's going to be a great player sooner or later. ETN's a good player. But there were definitely plays made by the defense that kept them in check, holding them to 20 points. You got to hope to get there. Like I said, I thought the game was going to be in the 20s. I was hoping the Steelers were going to show a little more offense like they did the last 2 games, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, the fact that they held him out at the end zone that first half, I was thinking it was.
Yeah,
I thought we could have won that game. To be honest, I really do think we could have
with
won that
Kenny,
game.
with Kenny, you
Yeah,
mean? Yeah,
yeah. If
I
Kenny
think
doesn't
it's
get
possible
injured,
too.
yeah, yeah. If he doesn't
With
get injured, I think we win that game.
with all that bullshit that happened on that last drive, if they get 10 more yards, it's an easy kick for Boswell. You're
Hmm.
in the half 9-6. You get lucky, maybe Pickens finds a way to get open and he gets a touchdown in the end zone on that drive, and you're up
Yeah,
10-9
yeah,
going into the half. I
yeah.
think,
Because Boswell made that 55 in the rain. I
yeah,
mean, he made
uh-huh,
it. I mean,
yeah,
if that penalty isn't called, I mean, it's a 3-point game at half.
yeah. But I guess it's
So,
just 4-3. Time to look forward, I guess, to
yeah.
next week. We have the Titans Thursday night. They come into the game 3-4. Will Levis has been named the starter. He had a great first start against the Falcons.
Oh yeah. What,
A
four
lot of
touchdowns, right?
bombs, a lot of deep touchdown passes. I think DeAndre Hopkins was pretty happy to finally get involved and show that he's not washed up. I think.
Yeah. I saw a meme. It was it had like Willis and Hopkins. It said Willis and Hopkins on today's game, and it was a picture of Tom Brady and Randy Moss.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the Steelers' sake. It was just one of those things where the Falcons were more prepared for something else, and they just didn't expect Levis to come out there and throw those bombs. Now that the
Oh
Steelers
yeah.
see that, they can prepare a defense that's a little better for that.
I
I
hope so.
The fact that he hasn't earned the job until now, there's probably flaws in his game that hopefully they can exploit come Thursday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. I was kind of I didn't know what was gonna happen with the whole they were
Derrick
talking about
Henry,
trade rumors. Derrick Henry,
yeah,
yeah. They're talking about trade rumors, and then all of a sudden it looks like they said they're not going to trade him now. So it looks like he's going to stay, and so we're going to have to deal with him as well, this Thursday. So hopefully we can stop him. It's just we're giving up a lot of yards on the ground
yeah.
over these past couple games.
Mhm.
So you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're 3-4. Their defense is. I like Vrabel as a coach, but I don't think anything is particularly great about their defense. I could be. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. They just
Yeah.
traded Byard, right?
I think so.
So either they thought they saw something in the secondary from someone else, or they're just mailing it in a little bit, I guess.
Yeah,
And
I mean, these are one of those games. I remember you were saying this might be probably our easiest matchup over this
yeah,
four
we
game stretch.
when we looked at the
You
four
know,
games, yeah, I think so. Even
yeah,
after seeing what Levis did, I still think that's the case.
yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think this is a game we should win, but I mean, is a rookie.
Uh-huh.
Here's first year guy. We saw what CJ Stroud did to
Yeah.
us. You just don't know what's going to happen in this game. I mean, I don't want to say the Steelers play down to their competition, but as we've seen in the past years, games that we should win, they go in there and it's the fourth quarter and they're trying to come back and
Mhm.
win. It's like, you got to punch these guys in the mouth in the beginning and
Yeah.
let them know, you're the bosses here.
I'm gonna check real quick and see if they have a spread up for next week yet. I'm assuming they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they have us as a 2.5 point favorites. It's a home game,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I kind of see it as a pick 'em, I
Yeah.
guess.
Short turnaround. I mean, yeah. I mean, these quick games, you're coming off of a loss. Maybe you have some momentum going into this game, hopefully thinking like, man, we should have won that game. And, we have another easier opponent coming in. Maybe, they can, come out swinging in this game and make it a difference and make it a turnaround for us.
Yeah. Some people had Levis as like a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
It did he dropped, obviously, he dropped down, but having the short week might be in his favor too, because the Steelers don't have enough time, like a lot of time to like game plan
Hmm.
for what he showed on Sunday. I'm sure they'll put something together quick, but it's not the time.
Yeah.
It's the kind of situation where you would like to have more time to see this rookie. And I think for him, he's probably just gonna go out there and throw the ball like he was throwing it on Sunday.
Yeah. I think we have a better defense than the Falcons, but you just don't know. You just don't know. I want to say really quick, I think the Steelers should at least be a little fired up. After losing that game and seeing one of their players take the terrible towel from a fan in the stands,
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You can't you gotta go into this game like, okay, look, these people came into our stadium and did this to us. We can't allow this. Just like that game, what was it? It was the Cincinnati Bengals game
Yeah,
few years ago where TJ Husmanzada, he took the
yeah,
towel and he's like cleaning his shoe with it,
yeah,
you got to think like, okay, if you make the playoffs and play this team again in the playoffs, you got to come out and smack these people in the mouth,
yeah. They might make
so
it. They may get the shot with Jacksonville. Jacksonville's probably going to win the South, I think at least, and then
yeah,
maybe we see them as a wild card. Right now we're the sixth
maybe,
seed. I know that.
yeah,
So it's possible, and yeah. After the game, they did fire back at George Pickens. We talked about that hope defense talk from last week, and
yeah,
they started to give him some stuff, and it was kind of corny. The two guys that were talking for the Jags, but I mean, I guess when you win, you can talk your shit.
yeah. That's what it is, So hopefully they're a little fired up for this game. It should be a good game. It should be a victory for the Steelers, but you just never know how they're going to show up.
Yeah. And then you mentioned the Henry and the trade deadline. I guess we can go through the trade deadline real quick before we head out here on this shorter episode. Going into the day, I think the biggest thing with the Steelers was the Jalen Johnson rumors, the cornerback for the Bears. About I want to say it was like 4 to 5 hours before the deadline, there were starting reports that the Steelers the favorites to get him. And there's talk. I think I saw like the package was either going to be like a second round pick or a third rounder and another pick. But he ends up staying there. It's a tough situation. We talked about quarterback from Denver the week before and how he was it would have been like a dream scenario. This would have been a little different, I think, because Johnson is due for a new contract, and one of the main reasons his name was even floating out there was because the Bears and him couldn't connect on a contract. And I think that the Bears have a ton of cap space next year, so you think that they would be more willing to make a deal long term than the Steelers could make with the way the defense has already been. They got invested in Watt, Highsmith, Fitzpatrick. So, is there any other trade that caught your eye from today? It was kind of underwhelming, I think.
Yeah, how about Joshua Dobbs to the Vikings?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. They're going to start a rookie this week. I forget his name, but I assume they're going to put him in for Cousins starting week 10.
Yeah, it's terrible what happened to Kirk Cousins.
He was having a great year.
Season-ending Achilles injury. How about Chase Young to the 49ers? They're just beefing up that defense.
Yeah, it's crazy that they can get away with all these trades, and they're
I know.
The other two big ones I would say are the two other defensive linemen, Leonard Williams going leaving New York, going to Seattle. That was for a second rounder and a fifth rounder. And then the other Washington Commanders defensive end, Montez Sweat, who went to Chicago for a second rounder. So this is 2 years in a row Chicago's traded their second round pick. Last year, of course, was Claypool, who turned into Jody Porter Jr., and now Claypool's in Miami. So I think that worked out for the Steelers a little more than the Bears.
Yeah, for sure. It's just unfortunate we didn't get anybody this time around, so.
I mean, with the offense, the way they're playing, I mean, can you really – and I think those picks might be more valuable to them than getting a defensive player. Yeah, I think you're right about the Dobbs one. I guess he might play a role in the playoff hunt. It sucks for Minnesota came back from 0-4, and then just like that, your season's over, I guess. With
because even Justin Jefferson, I think, is still out with an injury.
Yeah, he's
out.
Addison's been playing great for them. He's on pace for
Mhm.
a ton of touchdowns and all that, but I think they're
Yeah.
at this point they're pretty screwed, especially because the Lions have been one of the better teams in the league. I don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna catch the Lions.
What's crazy is Joshua Dobbs was a backup for us, and he was doing well with the Cardinals. The beginning of this season, first 6 games.
Yeah, he
He was
looked
looking pretty good.
serviceable, but I mean, they were still are they 1-6 or what are they right now? Something like that. So he was performing okay, but I don't know
Yeah.
if he's going to be an upgrade over.
Kirk Cousins. Oh
Anyone.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Uh, yeah, Arizona's now 1-7.
1-7.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
might be playing a rookie this year or this week, unless Kyler Murray is back. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that thing goes. Yeah, I don't know
Uh-huh.
that there's a lot of speculation and rumors I've seen that the Cardinals want to move off of him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Maybe the
we'll
end
see
of the
what happens
season.
with all that. Yeah.
But I guess we'll wrap up there. Thursday night, we got the Steeler game.
You want to make any predictions for the final score?
Oh yeah, I'll make a prediction. Thursday night game, it'll be sloppy, I think. I think that favors the Steelers. I'm gonna go something weird. I'll go 17-12 is my prediction.
Okay.
Steelers.
17-12. I'm gonna go 20-17 Steelers. Final field goal
2017.
at the end for us. Boswell's gonna kick it as
Boswell.
the game
Okay,
ends.
nice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Any
20-17.
Any predictions for top performer? You can do that too, I guess.
I think TJ Watt's owed tonight. I think he's gonna come out with a night. The past couple games,
a little more
he only had
quiet.
half a sack, I think, in the past 2 games. So he had an interception as well, but I think he's gonna have a big game in this Titans game. I think George Pickens is gonna have a good game as well on offense. So I think those are my two, TJ Watt and George Pickens.
Yeah, those are two good bounce back names. Yeah, maybe Hayward comes back. I know he's been practicing a little bit. That might be a good thing. But we'll see what happens Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll see what happens Thursday night football.
We'll be able to talk about it right after the game. So.
Sounds good. Can't wait to see you live.